The New York Knicks have a savior, and he goes by the name KRISTAPS Porzingis. Now, Francis, back when Porzingis was drafted in the 2015 draft, he was number 4th overall. Two of my very close friends, Kevin and Craig, I'm going to protect their last names for whatever reasons. I really should give them their last names after what their reaction to Porzingis being drafted was. These are two diehard New York Knicks. Actually, one of them is a diehard New York Knicks fan. The other is, for whatever reason, I believe a Denver Nuggets fan, but he is useless. So you get to watch Craig, a diehard Knicks fan and close friend of mine. I've been
Craig
waiting,
or Craig?
Craig. I've been waiting to use this video for a long time now. I've had it saved. I had to creepily grab it from Snapchat. And there are ways. There are ways. Roll tape of what many Knicks fans believed was going to be the end of their franchise. Oh, it makes me so happy to see that because I was one of the few proponents of the Knicks fan base who simply used the lines, trust Phil.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson knows what the hell he's doing, and it's obviously proof of that. Now, was I thrilled when Porzingis was drafted? No. I didn't know what to think. I just wanted to see this guy actually play, and he obviously has made a lot of people believe in his ability. Granted, we're talking about like a 25-game sample size in a very young, early career on a guy who stands 7'3", which can run into a lot of problems. But Monday night they played the Dallas Mavericks. Porzingis got to meet Dirk Nowitzki, his idol growing up.
Doppelhanger.
His doppelhanger. I guess in a way, a little bit of a doppelhanger, a little bit.
Actually.
If Dirk shaved his head, don't forget, Porzingis had cornrows at one point.
He did?
Yes. He was
That's
like
amazing.
15.
That's amazing.
Really happy he didn't bring that from Latvia. But he played for Sevilla.
Yeah, Sevilla, he played in the
Spanish
junior levels, of Sevilla, and then he moved and made his way through to the higher ranks, and he played for the Latvian national team as well. I mean, so what? It's common that you would kind of doubt this pick, especially for a 4th-round draft pick.
Right.
But it shows once more this transition from the European leagues coming across to the NBA, which is great. But of course, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I knew from day one. I knew he was going to be a great draft pick," and that's just people
There's a lot. There was, well, you know, actually, roll tape of the actual NBA draft in which you have even more Knicks fans, including a kid like crying while taking a selfie.
The New York Knicks select KRISTAPS Porzingis from Liepāja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
That's the new way of the world. I just broke my ankle. Fuck.
My ankle. But no, that was the consensus reaction from New York. We were in New York.
When that happened,
We were there. We were at the Kicking and Screaming Film Festival. Sales Ben, very clever name. He works on the sales team here, and I were following it on our phones while we were watching movies at the Kicking and Screening Film Festival. Yeah. And that pick came through, and so that's what happened. But so Dirk and Kristaps Porzingis have been linked to each other in terms of as a comp, and I want to hear your thoughts on it first because I have very different thoughts.
Well, Dirk has came out and said that he is open to the comparison, and quoting him, he said he's real. So that wise words. But talking about Porzingis, right? So let's throw some facts out there. Starting his rookie career, first 18 games, ranked 3rd amongst all rookie scorers in October and November, and he was obviously rookie of the month. Great numbers for a guy that's standing at 7'3", who is obviously great in the paint but can also drain threes, and he's been somewhat of a revelation for the New York Knicks. He's given.
We haven't had hope. We haven't had hope.
Yeah.
We have not had hope. We just it's been 15 straight years of disappointment. Even though 2011 we had a run with J.R. Smith as a 6th man of the year. It was a great time to be a Knicks fan, and then that ended because fuck Paul George. Even though I love Paul George, the Pacers ruining the Knicks' hopes again. We were supposed to meet it never. It just didn't work. We were supposed to meet the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, but that never happened. So there's only one issue with the Dirk comparison. Comparing Porzingis to Dirk is actually comparing Porzingis to the greatest big man shooter of all time. All time. This is a guy who's going to finish with 30,000 points and 10,000 rebounds.
Yeah.
He is one of the greatest scorers of all time. But Dirk and Porzingis aren't that similar. No. Dirk and Porzingis have a very similar release in their jump shot. Like, it's a pretty looking shot. We've always known that. But if you really want to compare the two, Chris Bosh is more like is a better comparison to make. Elements of the Gasol brothers are better elements to make, and that comes from the defensive end because Dirk was never a great defender. Porzingis averages a block more a game. And again, small sample size. But when you look at it, you're just looking at the shooting element when you compare it to Dirk, which is fine. And if Porzingis goes on to get 30,000 points and 10,000 rebounds in his career, to be on a list with only 10 other people in NBA history.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is people love to compare, and people love to obviously we as sports fans have a well-known history of jumping the gun. And if someone starts to shoot well, specifically as someone who seems to be a revelation for a team like the New York Knicks, as you know, Truewell has suffered some tiresome years. And that's the thing, is like when someone comes in like this, who's shooting the lights out, who's performing very well, very exciting to watch, you obviously jump on the bandwagon. You want to try and compare him to some of the best just to hype the media coverage. But I ask you, watching the New York Knicks this season, are you more so excited than, not just excited, but in terms of, is your thoughts on the season optimistic, or do you think that there's a realistic chance that the New York Knicks can perform very well this season with someone like Porzingis in the team?
This season alone, a 500 record is a phenomenal season. It's a great turnaround. It would actually get us into the playoffs, which would be nice to see the Garden, Madison Square Garden, alive in the NBA playoffs again. I would love that. Zach Lowe from ESPN, I think, tweeted out perfectly about a week and a half ago. The Garden is fun again. There was not joy when you went to see the Knicks play basketball, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, especially
for a city like that thrives, that has been starved of great basketball teams, of championship-winning basketball teams for a long time now. So with that alone, Porzingis is there. He's taken to the spotlight well. He's got a confidence about him that we like watching. He's got a great jump shot. He's got a lot of moves inside. He can play defense. He alone can't win you a championship, though, but he can be a piece. He absolutely can be, and his progression is way ahead of where we thought.
We want to know what you guys think. 100%. What do you think of this comparison? Do you think that Porzingis does show some correlation to Dirk Nowitzki, or do you believe that Jason is stating there that you're comparing him to the best big man shooter of all time? Let us know in the comment section below. TYT Sports, at Francis_Maxwell, at Francis Maxwell, TYT on Instagram, at Jason Rubin 91 on both. Come back again.